Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new, and welcome to my July wrap up. So July was not the best reading month for me. It wasn't the worst, but it definitely wasn't the best. I did feel like I was slowly moving into a slump throughout the month. But with that being said, I did manage to read 6 books in total, which is definitely not my worst month. Not gonna lie to you, most of these are romances. Apparently I was in a little bit of a romance mood this month. There are no thrillers, which is a little bit ridiculous. We'll definitely have to rectify that in August. But yeah, a little bit of a mixture of different sort of styles of book, and definitely a mixture of different ratings. So if you'd like to know all about the books I read in July, then just keep watching. So the first book I read in July was actually a fantasy romance, and that was Divine by Mistake by PC Cass. This is the first in the Goddess of Partholon series. I did not get round to reading the other two. I don't know when I will, but I did read the first one and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I've already mentioned before in a vlog and in a haul that this is a series that I started back when I was in high school, back when I was in my major like vampire paranormal romance phase, like that whole vibe, and I never ended up finishing the series, so I want to do it this time, although definitely not living up to those expectations right now. But in this one we follow Shannon Parker, who is just your average teacher, I believe. She lives in our world, she is just a normal human, and then she goes to this antiques fair and sees this vase, and the vase ends up sucking her into another world, and she wakes up and she is in kind of like a parallel world, and she has swapped with the goddess's favourite in this world, who looks exactly like her, sounds exactly like her. It's like her sort of doppelganger type thing in this separate world. So she wakes up in this world and she is marrying a centaur, and she has people to protect and a world to kind of rule, and she has to figure all that out pretty quickly. It is definitely a fun novel. I ended up giving this one 4 out of 5 stars. I had such a good time with it. I really enjoyed getting into my like fantasy world again, especially because this is a fantasy romance, so it's a little bit easier than just starting with like high fantasy. The relationship between her and her husband as they get to know each other is just so cute. Absolutely adore that. Some of the friendships in here are beautiful. Yeah, really enjoyed it. 4 out of 5 stars. Next up in July, I did actually end up doing a 24-hour summary reading vlog, which I will link above or below for you guys. But in that I think I managed to read 3 books altogether. So first of all, I read Untold Night and Day by Bae Swa. This one I gave 5 out of 5 stars. It is an absolutely unreal read. It is teeny tiny. I think it's what, 150 pages long basically, but it is an absolute fever dream. That is the only way to describe it. The whole reason I picked this up is because that's how it was described, and that is one of the reasons that I love Bunny by Mona Awad so much, and I'm always looking for more sort of fever dream type books. In this one we follow Kim Iyami, who finishes her last shift at Seoul's only audio theatre for the blind, and then she goes on like a little bit of a journey, speaking to different people, finding out different things. But the thing about this book is that there is no rhyme or reason or logic to time, people, faces, words. Like everything is just so disorientated. You move from scene to scene in a way that would make sense only in a dream, if that makes sense. Like if you were dreaming, you move from one scene to another and it makes sense in the dream, and then you wake up and you're like, wait, no, how did that happen? That's what it's like in this book. You just feel like you're in an absolute like hallucinatory state the whole time you're reading this book, and that is why I adored it. So if you're looking for that sort of style of book, please read this one. Next up I read Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This was my first Emily Henry novel, and why did it take me this long to pick up Emily Henry? Why? Because I freaking love this book. 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely adored her writing. Have now bought Beach Read and need to read People We Meet on Vacation, You and Me on Vacation, whatever it's called, and read them both, because this one was just so up my street, it's ridiculous. In this one we follow Nora, who is a cutthroat literary agent at the top of her game. Her whole life is books. And then we have Charlie, who's an editor with a gift for creating bestsellers, and he's Nora's work nemesis. Then Nora's sister takes her off to this town that is in one of their favourite books, I believe, for like a few weeks away from all of like the city life and her job. They make a bucket list of things that happen in romance novels that she has to do while she is there, like date a lumberjack, save a business, like all those like cliches or like tropes from romance novels. They have to try and tick them off. But when she gets to this town, who's there but Charlie? And it's kind of like an enemies to lovers but they're not enemies for very long, as is usually the case. But Nora and Charlie literally had my heart from the beginning. They've got such good witty banter, which is always my favourite thing in a romance novel, and the sexual tension between them was absolutely palpable, like so well done. Nora as a character I adored. She's such a strong, independent woman. Her relationship with her sister is just absolutely beautiful. She is a really well-rounded character, as is often not the case in romance, I feel, but we kind of just let them get away with it. I also always love any book that discusses books or writing within it, and this one was definitely like that. It was very self-aware. It played with a lot of these tropes found in romance books, and I just absolutely loved that. So yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. Need to read more Emily Henry ASAP. And finally, for my 24-hour readathon, I read Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. This is the second book by Elle Kennedy I've read, I believe, but the first one was Him, which was Elle Kennedy and Serena Bowen, I think. So I've not read any of like The Deal or any of that series that everyone always tells me I need to read by her. But this one I absolutely loved. It was so much better than I expected it to be. I really wasn't expecting much from this one at all, to be honest. This one very much reminded me of After in its plot, but it's also very, very different to After. But we have Mackenzie, or Mac, who is like this rich girl who has had everything she's ever wanted, but she also has her life totally like mapped out for her and it's not what she wants. And then we have Cooper, who lives in this small town where Mac has come to get her college degree, and he does not come from easy circumstances. He does not have everything handed to him on a silver platter. They're completely worlds apart. And after Mac's boyfriend gets into a fight with Cooper, Cooper and his friends set this dare that he should try and get with Mac and therefore break her and her boyfriend up and then break her heart. That's where the sort of After vibes come in for me. But this one was just such a beautiful book. Like, the way that their feelings are written in this is amazing. It just went straight to my heart. Again, the sexual tension was Stevie. Cooper as a love interest, I fancy the pants off him, I'm not gonna lie to you. So yeah, I ended up giving this one 5 out of 5 stars as well. It was just such a good time. I could not put it down. Even if I hadn't been doing my 24-hour readathon, I don't think I would have put it down. So yeah, highly recommend. Next up, I read After Love by Tanya Byrne. This was the Patreon book club pick for my Patreon for July. So I did read this and filmed a spoilery reading vlog for my patrons. And in this one, we follow Ash, who is a teenager, and she falls in love with a girl called Poppy. They just start this beautiful romance together, and then Ash dies. But when she dies, she wakes up and she is asked to join the Reapers, who basically help take those who have died off to Sharon, the guy on the boat that like takes you off into the afterlife, and that is like her job kind of thing. And obviously while she is there, she would love to speak to Poppy again, but there are all sorts of rules surrounding that, and I'm really not explaining this very well, but trust me, it is a beautiful book. Like, I absolutely loved it. There are so many romantic quotes in it. Like, the way that Poppy and Ash fall in love is just beautiful. The way they speak about each other is so cute. And then even like when she does pass away, it's not like, it's sad, but it's not written to rip your heart out. It's written more to like write some beautiful words about love and about grief and about the afterlife. So it's not one that I didn't cry. It's not one that I think you would like cry the whole way through it, even though it sounds like it should be. There's a lot more to it, and there's a lot of really interesting ideas in it about the afterlife, and it's just like a really, really good female romance, I'm not gonna lie to you. So I ended up giving this one 4 out of 5 stars, and I'm really glad we read it for our Patreon book club pick. Okay, so the final book I read in July wasn't a good one, I'm not gonna lie to you. That was Double Booked by Lily Linden. If you watched my previous vlog, you will already know my thoughts on this one. This was not what I hoped it to be at all. I ended up giving it 2 out of 5 stars. For me, orange is the angry tab, and I don't know if you can see, but there are a lot of orange tabs in this. We basically follow, I can't even remember her name because I don't care about her, Georgina. We follow Georgina, who has been with her boyfriend for like 7 years? She's been with her boyfriend for a long time, and then she realises that she might be bisexual, and she wants to explore this and find out more about herself and her identity, which is all well and good, but she then starts living a double life where she is like this perfect girlfriend when she is with him, but when she is not with him, she speaks really badly about him, and she even considers like cheating to try and like explore her sexuality, which anything to do with cheating is just an absolute no-no for me. I freaking hate cheating. cheating. There was absolutely no need. I also just hated the way she treated her boyfriend in this, because he was nothing but perfect, nothing but lovely to her. If that's not what she wanted, then end it and then go and do all these other things. Don't do them while you're still with him and treat him like crap. She also, in my opinion, didn't treat her friends very well. She's a teacher who didn't treat her students very well. I just really did not like her as a main character. I could not stand her, and it made this book very difficult to read. There were some really funny moments in it, like there's lots of green tabs in here as well. I just couldn't get past the fact that it seemed like we were supposed to like Georgina, but I could not find anything to like about her. So yeah, I ended up giving that one 2 out of 5 stars. Definitely not the best end to the month. So there we have it. That is all the books that I read in July. 6. It's not that bad. Let's be serious. Like, yes, some people will read about 20 books a month. Good for them. I hope they're happy. I can't do that. I don't know where they find the time. I'm really happy for people who can do that, and I hope they're very happy doing it. It's just not something I will ever be able to achieve realistically. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this shorter wrap up. Let me know if you have read any of these books, what your thoughts were on them, or if you plan to read any of them based off of my reviews. If you made it to the end of this video, then pop the dog emoji down below, just because I see a little doggy on this book here. Just let me know that you made it to the end of this video and that you enjoyed your time here. But as always, if you did enjoy the video, then do please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe for more bookish content from me. Comment down below with any of your thoughts and feelings. I do reply to every single comment. I love you all, and I will see you in my next one.